Hi, this is Sharon Smith, and I am the creator of A Pain Plan. This video today is all about forgiveness and the freedom that comes with it. So when I was thinking about making this video, and we were talking about it earlier in the week, I was thinking about all of the things I wanted to put into it for you to make it really effective. And we were talking about how to market it. And about 30 seconds into the conversation, I realized that this was literally such a valuable piece of work that it needed to be free. I needed to just give it away. So here it is. Now, before we get started, I have a little bit of housekeeping to take care of. I need to be sure that you are 18 or older and that you take complete and full responsibility for your own physical and mental health and well-being. And you need to pause me for just a moment and go to my website, apainplan.com, and I need you to read and agree to my complete disclaimer. I won't start without you, I promise. Welcome back. Now I'd like you to have some water with you too while we do this. It's important to stay hydrated. I've got my pink water bottle with me. So we're going to do tapping, which is also EFT, but I just like to call it tapping. And I have a tutorial on the website if you're not sure of the points to tap. But basically, what you do is just do what I do and repeat after me. It's really simple. I promise I'll make it easy for you. And then the end of this is going to be guided visualization work. So, now to forgiveness. Well, we've all got that. We've all got somebody out there that we just either really have had trouble forgiving or we simply just cannot do it. Some of us have a whole lot of people that we can't forgive or don't forgive. Now, bear in mind as we work with this that I am absolutely not condoning anyone's bad behavior. There's some awful stuff out there. And I'm not suggesting that you condone bad behavior either. However, I am suggesting that because you are here today, that it's time for you to do this important work, to be free of this awful relationship of unforgiveness so that you can be free to move forward on your life. Now, when we have that angry, hard, unforgiving thing with someone, what happens is that it keeps us stuck. It's kind of like being in prison. And it also gives that person that we are so angry with and can't forgive, it gives them continued power over us. If they have the ability to still make us mad or have that unforgiving thing going on every time we think about them, then you are under that control. And wouldn't it feel good to not have that, to get rid of it? So we're going to begin by tapping. And we're going to start with the karate chop point. And just tap where I tap and follow along with me. I promise I'm going to make this easy for you. Oh, and one other thing. I use pronouns he, she, they, I just interchange them. The more personal that you can make this and specific to your situation, the better this is going to work for you. So feel free to say, instead of he or she, feel free to say one or the other, or you can even use their name. That's the best way to do it. And just hold that thought, that unforgiveness with that person. You can only do one at a time with this. Doesn't seem to work for more than one. So hold that person in your mind, and now let's work with it. I can't do it. I can't forgive him. But I completely love and accept myself anyway. Even though I have all this unforgiveness, all this anger, I can't let it go. But I'm open to healing this anyway. Even though I've got all this unforgiveness, all this anger, I profoundly love and accept myself. And I honor how I feel about this now. Good. Top of the head. I can't forgive him. I've tried, and I can't do it. She did terrible things to me. Things I didn't deserve. And I can't do it. I'm so angry. All this anger. I've got to hold on to it. I can't forgive. If I forgive, who would I be without all this? What would that look like in my life? Under your arm. I don't think I can forgive. But I allow myself to be open to the possibility that maybe I can. Can you hold your wrist points? Breathe. Peace. Okay, now back to the top of the head again. I'm so angry about this. I can't let go of that. I give myself permission to remember that me holding on to this anger is just like me drinking poison. And hoping it's going to make him croak. It doesn't work that way. And now that I remember that, I can see that it's safe for me to let go of this anger. I give myself permission to just let it go. I didn't mean to hurt myself. It's safe to let it go. I love myself. It feels good to let this go. Hold your wrist points. Breathe. Peace. Good. Okay. Now we're going to go in and start doing some forgiveness. Now I want you to keep holding that situation in your mind and go back to the top of the head. Even if I can let go of the anger, I just can't forgive. I can't forgive him for what he did. I don't know if I can do it. But I want to be free of this. So I give myself permission to be open to forgiving. It's safe to forgive maybe a little bit. I do want to be free of this. So I allow myself to begin this process. I think I can forgive. I think it might be safe for me to do this. And I know it would feel good to be free of this. And I deserve to feel good. Top of the head. I deserve to feel good about this. I deserve to feel better. I give myself permission to forgive him completely and fully. I'm not condoning bad behavior, but I deserve to be free of this. I deserve forgiveness. And I accept it. I allow it. It feels good to let it go. All that unforgiveness. It's safe to let it go now. It's perfect to let it go. This is a good time to forgive. Miss Points? Peace. Good. Okay, now I want you to kind of gauge how you feel about this a little bit. And we're going to move into the next portion of this video. Now, we didn't end up in those situations in a vacuum. When people have done awful things, they didn't get that way from watching a little too much TV. They've usually had things happen to them in their lives that have caused them to say and do awful stuff. That's kind of the way it works. So what we're going to do is a visualization, and you're going to see that person as a child. And we're going to go in and work with this now. So I want you to just take a breath and close your eyes. And again, in through your nose and out through your mouth. Good. Okay. Now, just use your imagination, and I want you to picture the person that you're still working with here, the one you couldn't forgive, that you're kind of forgiving now. And I want you, right next to you, to see that there is a bright red cord or rope. I want you to reach your hand out and grab a hold of that. Good. Now I want you to start walking with your hand still on that cord. And this is a cord that takes you back in time. So I want you to keep that person in mind. And I want you to go all the way back, walking along that cord, and just feel it under your fingers. Look down at it and appreciate that it's red, and feel that it's smooth. And there's periodically a knot in the cord for a different time. And just continue walking. And keep that person in mind. And you'll see up ahead the point where you need to stop, where that person was a little child, maybe 3, 4, 5 years old. When you come to that point on the rope, I want you to stop, and I want you to see that little boy or little girl standing there in front of you. And they're all alone. And they've had some bad stuff happen. And that little child is crying. And just look at them for a moment and appreciate the depth of how much alone that little child is. Now I want you to walk up to the child and just kneel down, lean down, and say their name. And I want you to hug them and tell them that it's okay. This is a little kid with a lot of bad stuff going on. Now, pick that child up and just talk to them. you'll notice that the child isn't crying anymore. And I want you to explain who you are and that you forgive this child and that you understand. Good. Now, I want you to talk to this little boy or girl again and explain that it's going to be okay, that they're perfectly safe. And I want you to tell them goodbye. And then I want you to take a hold of the rope again. And take a breath. And now the person we're going to work with is you. Because we frequently forget to forgive ourselves. So I want you to hold on to that rope. And I don't know whether you're going to move forward or backward in time, but I want you to see yourself as a child, about that same age. 3, 4, 5, maybe a little younger, maybe a little older. You'll know exactly where on the rope you need to stop. Now, see yourself at that age. And I want you to see what was going on. You've had not a very good day. And you're all alone. And that child is frightened. I want you to lean down and pick that little child up and hug them. Hold them tight to your heart. And explain that they don't have to be by themselves, that they're not alone. Tell that little child how much you love it. Tell him you love him. And feel free to explain to the child who you are and why you're there. Good. Now, still holding on to the child, I want you to make the child smaller and smaller, not younger, just smaller and smaller, until that little boy or girl that's you. And here she's smiling now and feels all better. She's not scared anymore and not crying. Make this one tiny, 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 enough to fit comfortably in the palm of your hand. Now, using your imagination while you hold that little child in the palm of your hand, I want you to see inside your heart and see that there's a little room in there, a room for this little boy or little girl. And it might have a pretty chair, there might be dolls or things to play with. It's just a nice room for a kid. It's whatever you would most have loved at that age. Really make it beautiful. And now I want you to take that tiny little version of you and put that little child in your heart in that beautiful room just for them, and explain to them that they're always in your heart, that they're always safe, and that they are always, always loved, and always with you. And they are free to come here anytime they want. They're always welcome. Now, if there's anything else you want to say to yourself at that age, this would be a good time to do it. Okay. Now, give the child a last hug, and I want you to grab a hold of the red rope, and we're going to walk back toward the present. Just keep walking. Appreciate the knots in the rope. Good. And now you've come back to where we started. You can let go of the rope. And I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, and open your eyes. Good. That was a good bit of work. You did great. I'm proud of you. Now we're going to do one last thing, and we're going to tap just a little bit more. And let's just go to the top of the head. And now, accessing the boundless, limitless supply of energy of the universe and the divine energy of creation, I give myself permission to release this unforgiveness from every strand of my DNA. I am profoundly grateful for the ability to access this energy. And so it is. Now hold your wrist points and breathe. Good. You did great. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this work today. I'm Sharon Smith with apainplan.com. If there's a place where you can leave comments about this video where you're seeing it, please do. Know that I appreciate these and I look at them and pay attention to them. And I thank you for doing this work for forgiveness. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.